Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drew B. Wilson, with more than 2 decades in sales. I've been through it. I've seen it. I've heard a lot about it. And now I'm bringing it to you, my favorite community in the world, the sales profession. Because let's just be honest, this is the coolest job on the planet. It literally gives us a chance to go out and live any life that we want to live, so long as we're willing to do the work and call the damn leads. Today's guest, someone I'm super excited to have on. I've watched him do exactly what I just said, calling the damn leads, building his damn business, and really scaling up to a point where he's getting the opportunity to help others learn how they can grow and scale and buy back their time. He's my friend, the owner of EO Staff, Mr. Chris Kille. What's up, brother?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm crushing the day, man. You know what it is. What's up with you?
I do. I got that text from you this morning. I'm also crushing the day. So
I know you are. I know you are. Well, I like to jump right in, man. You've been in sales a long time. You've done a lot of crazy stuff in the sales world. I want to hear a crazy sales story from you.
Oh, right out of the bat, huh?
Yeah, come at it. Bring me something dirty and nasty. Let's get them interested so they'll hang out until we talk about the stuff that's really going to help them later on.
We got to hook them in. All right. So I'm actually glad that you asked this question. So I've been in sales for almost 20 years now. And I used to go door to door for about a decade. And I was selling credit card processing. So for those of you guys who know, it's a super competitive industry. It's not always the most ethical industry. And it's your phone rings 10 times a day. People are always popping in your business if you got a brick and mortar. And, sometimes people have bad days, myself and other people included with that. And so I remember I was in Tampa, Florida. I think it was my 3rd year doing this. I was actually in St. Pete, but I was living in Tampa. And I was out one day and I was knocking doors and it was a shitty day. It was not good. There was nothing going my way. I was getting yelled at all day. So a lot of times when that started happening to me, I would try to find ways to turn the day around myself. And Drew, you know my sense of humor. It's not always the nicest. And, I tend to try to have fun at other people's expenses from time to time. Whenever I was younger, it used to be really bad. I was a total dick. And so what I would do is I would go in and I would act dumb, or I would fall in somebody's business, or not fall as in like get a lawsuit, but just try to just act in stupid, just stuff that would make me laugh and no one else really. So I remember I walked into the specialty wine shop, right? And the guy behind the counter, he had a ponytail. It was about 3:00. He was drinking a glass of wine. I think he had like a Virginia Slim. He had some sort of cigarette that was going in a retail location. Okay. But yeah, I remember he had like a low ponytail, and I just walked in and I was like, this one's going to be fun. As soon as I walked in, hit me with the not interested. Right. And so a lot of times when that would happen, I would be like, super dumb, not interested in what, or you don't even know why I'm here, but it's obvious because I'm walking in with my little binder, right? I got my suit on, I got my shitty pants and my shoes that are all beat up. It's obvious who I am when I walk in the door. They just didn't know what I was selling. So he was playing, I was playing dumb with him, and he was obviously getting a little bit more irritated. And finally, I just kept going, why won't you talk to me? Just talk to me. Are you lonely? I'm bored. And just completely fucking with this guy. And he's like, you need to leave. And I was like, I just don't want to. And, just kept going back and forth. This probably went on for like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't know what happened to this guy that day or that week or what was going on. Maybe his dog died. Maybe his wife left him. I don't know. He was not having a good day. And I just kept sitting there. I was poking and poking and poking. And I think I said something kind of disrespectful. I don't remember the exact details of it, but I do remember that he picked up a bottle of wine and threw it at me. Okay. He threw it at me, grabbed it by the thing and threw it at me. And I just did one of these and I dodged it. And a lot of the retail stores, they have the big window, like you walk in and there's the big window right to your left or your right or however the store is situated, right through the fucking window. Okay. And I was like, in Tommy Boy, where he's like, what did you do? Right. Like it was kind of one of those things. I was just like, yo, what, whoa. Okay. And he's like, you need to get the fuck out now, 'cause I'm calling the police. And I was like, all right. I've had enough. So instead of leaving through the door, I walked out of his window and then I ran to my fucking car And I got in and I say, that's it. That's enough for the day. So ran to the car, got in. It was like an 89 Toyota Corolla or some bullshit, right? I like literally sprinted to the car thinking that the next thing was coming after me was a knife or a gun or something like that. But that was one of the wild. I mean, I've seen some shit. I've done some shit over the years, but that one by far, that one stands out the most.
I mean, I do know your personality, and I could see how a younger, rowdier, more rebellious version of Chris Kille would definitely stir the pot and push it a little bit. And also that's kind of what sales is, right? Sometimes you got to have the confidence to take a couple of no's and to put up with people's bullshit and to push through those initial objections. So
sometimes you can flip them when you do that.
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's like they don't want to talk to someone who's not going to actually give a shit. And if you walk in and immediately walk out when they say no, well, they have no reason to work with you anyways. But if you can be like, well, hold on a second here, man. You're saying no, but you don't even know what you're saying no to yet. Let me make sure that you're saying no to the right thing, because you might be saying no to a huge savings right now, mister. And that's the problem. And then, sales me juices. I just start going into these scripts. Like, you ever notice that you do that sometimes where you just like start selling shit by accident and you don't even mean to, and you're like, oh, I did not even mean to close you, but I did that. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Hey,
I didn't mean to while we're here, let's get you some new merchant processing. And like, turns out I've got this awesome machine out in my 89 Corolla.
Set this thing up.
No, but I think it's hilarious that he would throw a bottle of wine. And I wonder if it was the owner, or if it was like some employee, some like dickhead manager that was like getting saucy, who then had to call the owner and be like,
I never even thought of
Jonathan, I threw a bottle through the window.
Dude, you're never going to guess what fucking happened today. Oh my God. This guy came in. He was a dick. I lost my temper. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yes. If you've ever done that, I want you guys to send us a message, share this on social media at Call the Damn Leads, at Not Chris Kille, and just let us know, because this is going to be one of those moments where I'm sure that you've probably had a similar situation. Either you were the person doing some crazy shit, or you saw some crazy shit happen to you as the salesperson. And that's what this show is all about, telling those wild stories and getting them out there, because you're not alone, first of all, and it's what makes sales so interesting, because let's be honest, this is one of those things where rejection and dealing with people and their emotions and people buy for two reasons. They're trying to get out of pain, or they're trying to get into pleasure. And so whatever they're going through in that moment, you have to be ready to deal with and work through. And I know that in the door-to-door situation, especially because it can be such a race to the bottom for a lot of people. And, I know a lot of folks in the merchant industry, and there's some sketchy folks out there for sure. We won't get into it on this one. But what I would love to know from you, Chris, is, having done 10 years in door-to-door and worked in all of these different industries that you have now, do you have like one sales superpower or secret like weapon that you think you use, or that you would be willing to share with the listener?
I mean, for me, I use indifference a lot. When people get commission breath, it's obvious. And when they try too hard, it's obvious. I've always taken the mentality of, like, I want your business, but I don't need it. If you say no to me, or if you cancel your account, I'm not going to like it, but I'm also not going to be standing out in the street with a cup in my hand. I've always found that works. That works the best. Like, you know what? I don't even know if I can help you or not. I understand you're in pain here. I feel for you right now. I hope I can help you, but I'm really not sure if we can. You know what? Can I just ask you some questions? Is that okay? So, I feel like taking that route instead of the overconfident, almost cocky, arrogant route typically tends to work better, because, it disarms people. I know that's pretty popular nowadays too.
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of people at this point in 2024 that got a good bullshit meter. Mm-hmm. We know when someone's trying to sell us some stuff. I mean, typically if we walk out the door, there's no reason that another human being is going to approach you unless there's something that they're trying to get from you. Mm-hmm. Like, that is, at the end of the day, we can just break it down to people don't approach other people unless there's something that they want from them, or there's some kind of desire there.
Well, yeah. And then, I mean, in very few industries right now is that direct sale as probable and possible as it was 10 years ago. They've got the internet now. 95% of my sales now come from people who have already looked me up on the internet before we had that first conversation. So, they found me from however it was. And before they hit that lead magnet, before they hit submit, on the website, to submit that form, they already know who I am. They know what I offer. Most of the time, they already know my pricing. And, I would say with a few exceptions, the one that comes to my mind immediately is roofing, right? It's really, really hard to go door to door and manufacture that need, if you will.
That's so powerful. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because you're right. There is this instant satisfaction, this instant gratification world that we live in, where pretty much whatever you want, need, or desire, you can just press a button and have it sent right to your home. You don't have to talk to people most of the time. You don't got to deal with like weird, smelly sales guys in your building, or someone bothering you and hassling you till you chuck a bottle of wine at them. Like, those days are gone. However, one of the things that you said is you've built an online presence so that people do need your product or service. You've built out an awareness, an authenticity, and authority for what you do. And I see you're wearing a sweatshirt that says Delegate. For those of you that are just listening, he's got this awesome Delegate sweatshirt. And I know that's something that you've become an expert at, right? Because as a solopreneur, as a sales professional, you can only make so many calls a day. You can only process so many deals a day. So tell me a little bit about your transition from, just being out there slanging and banging deals by yourself to delegating and then learning how to build something for yourself that, turned into what it is.
Well, delegation's hard, first of all, because if you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, manager, whatever, a lot of times you think that you're the only one that can do something, at least, 100%. And you can only go so far, like you said. Whenever you're in that situation, you're going to hit your ceiling. You're going to hit your breaking point of your sanity. I know that before I started hiring people, there were multiple days whenever I would cry at the office because I was just so overwhelmed. And, a couple of times I actually just thought about walking away saying, fuck it, I'm done with this, right? That's whenever I found out about, being able to hire assistants, especially assistants from other countries, that the price point is much, much lower for them. But the whole thing is being able to recognize what it is that you need to get off your plate. At the end of the day, you're creating space to breathe, space to move, space to live, space to grow. And you cannot do that as your business grows by yourself, right? 99% of people out there cannot do that. You're going to hit a wall. And maybe you're happy with that wall and with your income and the size of the business that it is right now, but most of us are not. And in order, what got you here will not get you there. And so being able to recognize immediately the things that you should be getting off of your plate that you should not be doing, and then learning the systems and the processes of actually how to do that and to transfer that information to somebody else, right? That's the secret sauce right there. And, man, we could go so deep on this, and, I hope we can at some point, but yeah, I mean, there's just so many different layers and levels to this that I'm still learning stuff every day, and it just blows my mind how efficient you can make yourself, leveraging other people.
I'm so stoked that you answered it that way, because it is layers, right? You can peel back so much to this, but it all starts with understanding what is your time worth and where are you spending it? Because I think that's always the initial hang up that I run into, even personally, as I went through this, like transitioning out of doing it all myself to hiring my first couple of assistants and putting some people in place. I think that's always that initial like roadblock of, well, man, I got to pay them and then I got all this other stuff to do. So how did you approach that mentality of, all right, I'm going to hire someone and pay them to take these tasks off of my plate? And then kind of to go with that, what were some of those first couple tasks that you delegated? Because maybe people just don't even know where to get started.
The easiest way to do that is with a time study. And then from there, it's the simplest way to do this is every hour of the day for a week or so, set an alarm on your phone. When the alarm goes off, write down what you did that past hour. Do that for a week or two. You're supposed to do it for 2, and you're supposed to do it for every 15 minutes, but that's fucking nonsense. Just do it once an hour, the times that you're working, and then set it for a week, and you're going to be able to get the gist of it. Okay. What you're going to find is you waste so much time during the day doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Okay. And then from there, what you can do is you create a table. And, you decide, you take the things you say, okay, these 10 things I find myself doing a lot. Do I like them or not? Right. It's, is it a yes or is it a no? And if it's a no, you put it in the delegate pile. Okay. Then once you've separated from there, then you look at the activities and you put a dollar amount on them. So you can do 5, 50, 500, 5,000. 5,000 being like spending time with family, 500 like learning new software, networking, things like that. 5 checking email, things like that. And so from there, then what you can do is you now have a picture of the first things that you need to, that you can get off your plate. Okay. So then that's going to be the first things that you hire for. A lot of the times people want to hire and jump into like that advanced stuff. Oh, I need somebody that can, build me out this and build me out that. And that's cool. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a need for that, and perhaps that's the route we go, but show me your calendar first. Right? Show me your calendar. Give me your phone. Let me see how much time you're spending on social media a day. Right? And because I guarantee you, if you look at mine right now, I don't practice what I preach everywhere. Like I like to scroll. It's what it is. And,
sure.
In the ADD world, especially for us, it's difficult. Right? So, but the first thing that I typically recommend people to do, get control of your calendar and get control of your email. Most of the time, your email, you don't even realize that. Drewby, do you got your email up right now? On your phone?
I do. It's always on my phone.
On your on your computer, perhaps?
No, it's usually just on my phone.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's just on my phone.
Most people, what I found, their email on their computer monitor just sits up there all day, right? Yeah. And so what do in between or even in the middle of a lot of tasks? They just go check it. I'm just going to check my email real quick. It becomes such a habit. It was so hard for me to break this, especially when you have multiple inboxes going at the same time. So the very first thing that I did was I put my assistant on my email management. We organized and, hear me out before you say, oh, I don't want my assistant to see this, right? So the first thing we did was we organized the inbox into things that she has not seen yet, that nobody has looked at, drafts going out for approval, right? And things that only Chris can handle, and things that are in process, right? So I don't look at my email but more than twice a day. And so what she does is she sees all the emails that comes in and she flags them, categorizes them, right? Most of them, because we've been working together, she can reply to a lot of the things. If she can't reply to it, because there's, basic stuff that are coming in. Yes, no questions. Hey, ask me about this. Who do I go to that? Really typical stuff that honestly, I don't even care, right? It's not, somebody's going to answer it, right? It doesn't have to be me. And then from there, she's able to, whenever something that comes in, she'll flag it and say, hey, Chris, this is something that only Chris can do. So I respond to them either in the morning or the evening. I'll talk about that in a second. She will then send that person a message to say, hey, this is Chris's assistant, Faye. Just want to let you know, I saw the email. I flagged it. He will get to it as soon as he can, usually within 24 hours. And so now this person that sent an email has received a response, right? They should be pacified at that point, and I get to it when I get to it. If it's like an emergency, she's picking up the phone and calling me. Okay. So that's the very first thing that we do. And the other thing too is with the draft emails to be sent and to be approved, if she's unsure about something, she'll think, she'll type something up for me. But before she hits send, right? Hey, Chris, let me just see if this is the way you would respond. And so then I pop in, I read it real quick and I'm like, yep, good. Sometimes I'll push send, sometimes, whatever, but we clear that up. So the little things, I'm not even seeing them. I don't care about them. The things that she's unsure of get flagged, and the things that only I can handle are up at the very top of the inbox. And I only check my email in the morning and before I leave. So because she works, she works a swing shift. Yeah. So that right there is the very first thing I tackled. Second was calendar. Everything goes through her now. So if anybody says, how they play the game, hey, what's your calendar look like? What is, are you available on Tuesday? I'm like, nope. I even have it shortcutted in my phone. Like, hey, here's my assistant's email, Faye. Not to sound like a dick, but I don't have control over my calendar. She books everything, right? If you want to get me, got to go through her, right? And at the end of the day, and then most of the time she just sends them a Calendly link, right? So because that's actually got so that makes it easy. And then the third thing that we recommend, and I can share to any of the listeners that want this, the template for this, is I have what I call my action items email. And this is so important because it'll have a snapshot of my bank balances. I trust her with those. You may not with your assistant initially, but you will at some point. She can't move money. She can't transfer anything, but I get a snapshot of all my bank balances every morning. I get a update on the level 10 and the projects that we've been doing, like our rocks for the quarter. If you're EOS, person, they basically status updates on the goals that we set for the quarter and the year as to where they're at. And if there's anything that I need, it then goes through my entire schedule for the day. So that way I can take a look at it. Right. And then anything that was escalated to me from the night before, or that that was been on the list of things that Chris needs to do, if it hasn't been taken off yet, it follows me to the next day. Okay. And then, and anything new gets added to it as well. So I approve a lot of social media. I'll approve video editing. I'll approve just like all kinds of different projects that are doing that I need to give final stamp of approval on, but I don't want to go search for the shit. Right. So it's all there in one email. And then I used to hate doing it because I would respond to it typing. Well, here's what I do now. I actually take Screencast-O-Matic, right? Which I think is like $14 a year or something like that. There's a free version too, but you don't get a lot of storage there. I record the screen while I'm going through and answering her questions. So something that used to take me 15 minutes or so, which would still, it condenses my entire life into one email, right? Personal and professional into one email. So it's a snapshot. I take a look at it right then and there. And then now I can get through it in about a minute to a minute and a half. So 10 minutes. And if I was an asshole, I could just go and do nothing the rest of the day. My day's completely done because everything has been delegated. And it's 6:30 in the morning, something like that. So now the rest of the day, I just get to go do what I want. And, I can make content. I can go on podcasts. I can go back to bed. Sometimes I do that. I run, whatever. I mean, now the day is free to do what I want. And I've got the team in place that I have trained that understands what the standards are, understands how to do their job, and really only brings me something if there's a problem. It's the coolest fucking system in the world, man.
It is. And there's a lot of people listening right now going, man, that'll never work for me. I'll never be able to get that in place. And I'm here to tell you, you're wrong. You can 100% do it, but it starts one thing and one person at a time. This is the most important thing that I've seen. Not only have I personally done this, but I've seen countless other entrepreneurs do this. They get their first assistant, and then they literally just dump every single thing that they don't want to do on that person and are like, all right, fucking figure it out, chief. And that person fails, and then they get mad, and it's like going on a bad date that they met on Tinder, and they're like, I don't know, I met her on Tinder. I think that was Grindr. Something happened there. There was a miscommunication. I'm out of the dating game completely. Don't let that be the situation for you in your assistant and your first couple of hires. You're going to learn. You're going to grow. It's going to be weird. The best thing that you can do is 100% take Chris up on his offer for the template that he gives out on how to make sure you're doing this the right way. How many people have you helped place assistants at this point now? A couple thousand probably?
Oh, no, not that many. I wish so. I don't have a 9-figure run rate.
Well, tell me more. But you guys have helped a lot of people.
Yeah, we've helped a lot. One more thing to add on that, Drewby, is, I give everything away. I'll teach everybody my entire systems for free. I got a free Facebook group, right? And once a week on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, it's a 15, 20-minute little short. I show them something new, how to do it, give an example, usually a worksheet, and then homework. Bing, bang, boom, Beautiful. In and out. It's only in the group. I don't record it. I don't share it anywhere else. But so that's something. We cover the 7 core competencies that every assistant should have.
What's the name of that group?
It's facebook.com/buyback resources.
Beautiful. I'm going to make sure that's in the link notes and all that too, because this is the stuff, right? These are the things that they don't teach you in school. This is not something that any boss has ever taught you at a company that you've worked in. No one's teaching you this stuff because most people don't even know, right? Most people have no idea that this stuff exists. And the truth is, it is going to be that person that you hire, that you get in place, who takes those little things off of your plate, like sorting through your emails, like responding back to those dumbass questions that people are asking that you get so frustrated about. And it's not even the 2 minutes you took to answer the question. It's the 5 minutes you spent stewing about it, pissed off, that this time is wasted.
Yep.
So go through, just take advantage of this opportunity, guys. There's so much that you can do when you get your time back. And the beautiful thing is success is perspective. Like Chris said, you can choose to use that time to go and make more money and do more cool things with it. Or you can use that time to go and be with your family, or embrace the hobbies that you have, or do whatever it is that brings you joy in life. Because as I said at the whole start of this whole show, sales will give you everything you want if you're willing to call the damn leads and do the work. And if you do it a couple times and you train someone else how to do it, Well, guess what? Then all you do is you show up and you look at your calendar and you go, well, I have 20 set phone calls today. Once I'm done with those calls, all I got to do is make sure that the notes and the transcription are in there. And then whoever from my team is going to update, send the emails, make the follow-up appointments, and I'm going to go and hang out and watch my kid play t-ball, right? Like that can be the life that you want to live if you want to live it, but you got to take action and get the right person first.
Got it. Together, everyone achieves more. That's so silly, man. I can't believe I threw that out there. What else? How cliche is that?
You know what, though? Hey, you know why they make it so powerful? Because the basics is what wins wars, dude. People try to get fancy with it. They try to use all these AIs and all this shit to avoid the fact that, like, somebody's got to be there doing the work. And when you have a strong team, when you have the right people around you, the right things can happen. So, Chris, man, this has been a friggin' fun show. We started off with a bang, literally going through the window with the wine glass, all the way into, I'm pretty sure that we're going to get one person who's going to listen to this. They're going to actually do the shit that you gave them, the tasks and the projects. And they're going to go out and they're going to get an extra 5 to 10 hours a month back of their time. And they're literally going to change their entire life with it. So how can they come and find you? What's the best way to get a hold of those resources? And give us that group one more time so that if they didn't hear it, they can go jump in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can find me on Facebook, Christopher Kille, Instagram @NotChrisKille. Actually, come follow me there. I'm trying to build that up. That's been really, really weak for me. So hit that. Or the Facebook group, obviously, facebook.com/buyback resources. We have so much stuff that we're giving away in there. I mean, it's really, really next level. We're not hiding anything. There's no sales pitch. There's no, hey, join the group and we're just going to give you a little taste and then we're going to hard close you or something like that. Nope. You join the group. We're going to show you some stuff. We're going to ask if you what it is you're working through, and maybe we can even tailor some lessons specifically to you. So it's a no pressure group, right? We just want to educate. Everybody's assistant should know how to do a certain set of things, and that's our goal there.
I love that. That's why I have so much gratitude that we call each other friends and we're hanging out and getting to do cool shit together, because I learn from you almost every time we chat. And I know we've had a lot of opportunity to work together and do some cool things. And so if you're on this call and you heard something that you got some value out of, share it on social media, tag us @CallTheDamnLeads, @NotChrisKille, do it on Instagram so we can grow his following over there, right? That's one of those platforms that's really out there and changing the game right now. And so go hit him up on Instagram @NotChrisKille. And if you have a crazy story, if you're in sales and you've seen some wild shit go down and you want to tell some people about it, you can change the names, dates, and locations just like on the TV shows. But go to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your information. While you're there, go to the store, pick up some swag, get some cool shit, give it to your team. Remind them that if they go call the damn leads, you won't have to show up all the time and you'll be able to give them a fat bonus at the end of the year. And that's really the game changer right there. But it all starts with delegating, just like Chris Kille's shirt says. So, Chris, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you, man. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Later.